Available for that age group, kids 5 to 11. Action News Now reporter Christian Lopez is live in Oroville right now. Christian, are parents there ready to get their kids vaccinated?
I'm actually at Stanford Avenue Elementary School right now, which is the school that is seeing the most cases right now, like you just mentioned. Now, parents I talked to today say that they still don't feel comfortable vaccinating their children. Stanford Avenue Elementary School is closed today for the holiday, but I was still able to talk to a teacher off camera who says that they're following those guidelines as best they can. Parents I talked to in Oroville say they're not too concerned about that spike in cases, and they don't plan to vaccinate their kids anytime soon.
No, I'm not getting my kids vaccinated for that, no. I'm against it. I mean, they get their actual vaccinations every year, but the whole COVID, I'm against that.
I personally am not too worried. I believe that COVID is here to stay, and it's just proper hygiene, making sure the kids learn to wash their hands and obviously all the right vitamins to keep you healthy. Our immune systems, are what's going to beat this.
Out of about 2,500 students and staff members, the district has seen around 200 cases. That is about 8%. I also checked the vaccine tracker today for Butte County, and it shows that 50% of eligible population has received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Reporting live in Oroville, Christian Lopez, Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
Thanks, Christian. And we have a link to the Oroville City Elementary School District's COVID-19 dashboard on our website, actionnewsnow.com.
Well, Haley, vaccinating kids is the top priority today in Washington. The White House estimates nearly a million kids 5 to 11 have gotten their first vaccine dose, with about 700,000 pharmacy appointments on the books. But kids' cases of COVID are on the rise again in the U.S. The American Academy of Pediatrics says this past week there was a more than 6% increase in cases over the week before, and winter is coming.
This is at its heart a winter virus, and I think that as we head into winter, we will likely see a bump in cases. That's the most likely scenario.
The Biden administration has mandated millions of workers get vaccinated against COVID-19 by January 4th, but pushback is building. More than half of U.S. states are suing the administration now, asking a court to block the mandate, saying it risks negatively impacting the workforce. A federal appeals court agreed, but the DOJ wants that decision lifted. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals promises to expedite the case, but there's no clarification on whether this would have a nationwide effect. Another pandemic safeguard, masks and PPE, may have helped cut the spread, but they've also caused a boom in plastic waste.
Right. Reporter Ian Lee shows us new data that reveals how much of it has ended up in our oceans and the extent of the damage that's caused.
The pandemic touched all corners of the earth and deep into the oceans. A new study finds the battle against COVID produced 8.4 million tons of plastic trash. From that, 57 million pounds of everyday PPE ended up in the seas.
They're getting inundated with a new source of trash, which is face masks, face shields.
Add to that more packaging material from online shopping as folks stayed at home, all of which has proven deadly to marine life.
And we think that that's likely to be an entanglement hazard for fish, for sea turtles.
Volunteers cleaning canals in the Netherlands found a fish trapped in the finger of a latex glove. Researchers say Asia has generated about 46% of pandemic plastic waste, while 22% came from North and South America combined, and 24% from Europe.
We're using more than 2 billion masks a day, these single-use throwaway items.
The study found the most waste came from hospitals. Dr. Marcus Erickson has studied the plastic problem for more than 20 years.
The pandemic is producing a lot of trash, and we're hoping that this blip in trash generation will fade as the pandemic does. Going to reuse and reusable systems is the way to go.
But if action isn't taken to either recycle or better manage the waste, researchers predict 3 million more tons of trash will pile up and stay with us long after the pandemic winds down. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Experts estimate another 34,000 tons of plastic waste could be dumped into our oceans before the pandemic ends, unless someone comes up with a more environmentally friendly solution. New information about a body found in a South Chico alley linked to a shooting in City Plaza last month. It happened at 5 a.m. October 7th. Here's what we know. Someone opened fire at City Plaza, wounding one person before driving off in a white pickup truck. A few hours later, police say they found a body in an alley near a white pickup truck. They say the body was the driver of that truck and had committed suicide. New today, the Washington County Sheriff's Office tells Action News Now a transgender woman from Oregon was found dead by suicide in Chico that same day. That person owned a white pickup truck matching the description of the Plaza shooter's truck. We checked. Chico police will not confirm or deny whether this is the same person or if it's the Plaza shooter.
Breaking today, a federal appeals court temporarily blocked the release of records from the Trump-era White House, possibly linked to the January 6th insurrection. The D.C. appeals court granted Trump the temporary injunction to give the court time to consider his arguments against release of the documents. The appeals court set arguments for the case on November 30th. Stories of service. New at 5:30, we take you to IGO, where our community shares Veterans Day traditions.
Plus, breaking news in the murder trial of the teen accused of shooting 3 and killing 2 in a protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin back in 2020. The defense rests today. We take you to the courtroom. And we're live in Paradise, where the ice rink tradition is back in action tonight. Sports Director Jenna Fink joins us in 2 minutes.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Taylor? Haley, definitely back in my element. I've been waiting for the rink to open since I moved here 5 months ago. Which way do you want to go? Which way's better? Do this.
Happening now, the Paradise Ice Rink is open for business.
Action News Now Sports Director Jenna Fink is live out there on the ice. Jenna, do you feel like you're back in your element?
I'm definitely back in my element, Haley. I've been waiting for this ice rink to open since I moved here 5 months ago. I'm super excited to be out here. So are the skaters behind me. As you can see, a good amount of them making their way around the rink right now. This is the first time the rink is back open since COVID-19. It costs $12 to skate, and skates are included with the purchase. There are several events at rinks throughout the season, including a teen skate on Friday nights and adult skate Sunday. And if you don't know how to skate, the rink is the perfect place to learn. Just ask rink manager Lorenis Leeds.
You come out here to get happy. You come out here to skate. You come out here for that new experience. If you don't know how to skate, come visit us. We will definitely train you how to skate on Saturdays, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. So come out here. Don't make that, I don't know how to skate, a problem. It's not a problem. It's so much fun. If you hear them, they're having fun.
Well, I can't argue with her logic. Skating is so much fun. As far as those skating lessons, they start on November 20th, this Saturday. Well, I'm going to get back to practicing. Live in Paradise, Jenna Fink, Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
That was incredible. Thanks, Jenna. So cool to see that, and so cool to see those people back out there on the ice. For those of you who don't know, Jenna used to be a competitive ice skater, clearly. The rink is open tonight and most nights until 8, Saturdays until 10 p.m.
I want to see more Jenna. That was awesome. All right, well, other news now. Today, an arrest in Reading after some wild, though what turned out to be false threats from the suspect. Police say Christopher Tavares called 911 to say he stabbed his roommate and had a gun. Drivers near his home on Shasta View Drive say he was flagging down cars in the road and threatening to stab people. After a negotiation, police got him to surrender, and it turns out his roommate was fine and Tavares did not have any weapons. Well, the defense rested today in the Kyle Rittenhouse murder trial. We'll show you what happened in court.
Plus, a run to support local veterans working at higher education. We show you the turnout.
If you want to turn out to the golf course tomorrow, you can certainly do that. We have some very cooperative weather. There may be some patchy fog early in the day, but it's not going to last long, and temperatures will be back above average by the late afternoon when you're finishing up your 18 holes. I'll let you know if we can maintain that through the weekend right after this.
You're watching Action News Now. Storm Tracker weather. Coverage you can count on.
Clearing skies over Shasta County earlier today. Blue skies there on a warmer day.
What a pretty sight out there. Chief Meteorologist Jason Stiff's tracking those conditions for us. Jason, We definitely want more rain, but it does feel pretty nice outside.
Yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of a break. We've had some good amounts of rain thus far in this new water year, which began a little bit over a month ago on October 1st. Right now, we don't have any rain clouds outside, but we have some really pretty clouds. And look at this sunset view. It almost looks like a galaxy out there. Now, if you exercise and you eat your vegetables and you live about 4 billion more years, that's what it's going to look like when the Andromeda galaxy runs into the Milky Way galaxy. But 4 billion years is kind of a tall order, but it is a pretty sight. Get outside and enjoy it. You're going to see a similar sunrise and sunset tomorrow morning. And look at the highs today. We were 10 degrees warmer than average in Redding with that high of 76. It was 75 in Red Bluff, 70 in Chico, 51 degrees, a mild day for Bernie, and 61 degrees in Weaverville, kind of trapped under the low clouds and fog, but we are already cooling down with that clearing sky. It's already down to 70 in Redding, 68 degrees in Chico, 66 degrees in Oroville. Everyone's significantly warmer than yesterday, upwards of 11 degrees warmer than just 24 hours ago. Now, there's not a lot of clouds over Northern California, Southern Oregon, or Northwestern Nevada right now. Just a few over Siskiyou County and Modoc County, and that's about all we're going to have late tonight through early tomorrow. This morning, we had some areas of fog around southern and central parts of Butte County. We could have some more fog tomorrow morning, so make sure you drive carefully, but it also won't last very long. We're still going to have a mostly clear to partly cloudy sky both tomorrow afternoon and also Saturday afternoon. That ridge of high pressure I've been tracking all week, staying in control over weather and giving us some really pleasant weather for this upcoming weekend. Now, looking further into the future, we're still going to have increasing clouds despite that ridge of high pressure. There's a slight chance for some showers coming in late Monday into early Tuesday. Don't cancel any plans, but that's really about the only chance for additional rainfall that we have in the foreseeable future. We might have to wait a couple more weeks before we have a chance for some more wet weather. So we've had some good amounts of rain recently. You don't have to do any further watering around your garden at all, but if you want to get some yard work done, we have some really nice weather going forward for that, and that's going to maintain itself all the way through the weekend and until at least Monday morning or Monday afternoon. Here's your forecast for Friday afternoon. After a partly cloudy beginning of the day, we'll have a lot more sunshine in the afternoon. Highs in the mid to upper 60s for the northern mountains. For the southern Cascades and northern Sierra, a chilly morning with some patchy fog, especially around Quincy. It was foggy last night, but we'll have more sunshine in the afternoon with highs returning into the 60s. Also, another mild day for the Ridge. Lows tonight in the 40s and lower 50s. Highs, though, looking really good from 60 in Butte Meadows to 68 degrees in Paradise. For the valley tonight, patchy fog possible. Another cool one with lows in the mid to upper 40s, but just about as warm tomorrow as it will be today. More lower 70s for tomorrow afternoon. For the Chico area, we'll also have lows tonight in the mid to upper 40s. Patchy fog a possibility, but a mostly sunny afternoon, and the highs returning to the lower 70s. It's been a beautiful Veterans Day, and we're going to have a lot of nice weather all the way through Saturday and Sunday with temperatures in the lower 70s, dropping down to the 60s though next week. And for the Redding area, still lower 70s tomorrow through Sunday. A slight chance for showers early next week, but not a lot of rain in our forecast.
Looks great. Thanks, Jason. New details tonight on the two missing men who were visiting from Alabama. That's in 2 minutes.
And new at 5:30, we take a look at the Veterans Day Parade in Oroville, plus the latest news from Labor Department on just how much prices are rising.
Some of you woke up bright and early to honor veterans at Chico State today.
It's the annual Hoorah Run. Take a look.
All right, ready, mark, set, hoorah!
As Haley said, this is 8 this morning. The runners took off from Kendall Hall. They ran this 5K. All the proceeds from the $20 registration fee will go to help student veterans. We asked some runners why they decided to participate.
Running to support the veterans and just to do something fun with work at a time we don't usually get to do a lot of fun stuff together. So it's a good opportunity to get together with people that I've been working with for a long time.
Almost 100 people showed up to run for veterans today, and Chico State didn't host this event last year because of COVID-19 restrictions. New developments tonight. Gridley police say a hunter located a cell phone that belongs to one of the 2 missing Alabama men in the Sutter Bypass Wildlife Area. That's near the town of Nicholas. Police and the Sutter County Sheriff's Office searched the area, but there was no sign of the men. The Labor Department.
The Labor Department says inflation has hit a 31-year high, with prices rising at more than double the rate we've seen in recent decades.
We got higher demand for goods at the same time we're facing disruptions in the supplies to make those goods.
New government figures show beef prices are up 20% since last year, furniture up 12%, new cars nearly 10%, the largest one-year increase since 1975. Even rent for the average apartment has shot up by over $100 a month. Prices typically rise about 2 to 3% a year, but since a year ago, they've shot up more than 6% in all.
It's not just a U.S. problem. This is a global problem.
Moody's chief economist Mark Zandi says he thinks inflation should dissipate in 2022 if we keep the pandemic at bay. That's due in large part to the global shortage of computer chips used in automobiles. So these problems are not going to be unwound overnight, he says. Zandi says it could take up to 2 years to iron out all the supply chain backups. New at 5:30, we update you on the investigation into the deadly Astroworld concert in Houston last week.
But first, we show you how many drivers are back out on the roadways and compare that with pre-pandemic levels. And in 2 minutes, one local service member shows us his tradition on this meaningful day.
Covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
Parades and observances are happening all over our area in honor of Veterans Day today.
That's right. Action News Now reporter Anna Torrea shares the story of how one man is honoring the veterans and his family.
Well, it's kind of a whimsical tribute of sorts. I take these stuffed animals, one a Cal Fire bear with an Oscar the Grouch sitting in his lap, because that was my late older brother's favorite Muppet when we were kids, as well as a Smokey the Bear, both stuffed, and I put them on our mom and dad's grave and take pictures of them, and on a rotating basis send them to their grandchildren and the grandchildren of their friends who live out of state. And this year, now that I'm retired, I decided to dress things up a little bit and added Clifford the big red dog.
It's a tradition for Trigar to come to the cemetery wearing his hat inspired by the TV show MASH and decorated with pins.
It's just a way of paying it forward and keeping my mom and dad's memory alive, because I'm retired from state civil service now, and I'm thinking very seriously, as soon as I get certain matters taken care of, that I'm leaving California, and I don't know when I'll have another chance to do this.
And just like all the graves that are around me, you can see that on top of his parents' grave, you can see a flag and a carnation. Trigar's family has deep military ties.
My dad was a Pearl Harbor survivor, and his younger brother, one of my uncles, served in the ETO in World War II and saw the after effect of the liberation of one of the concentration camps. And then my mom's brother served in the South Pacific.
He is proud of his family's service to our country.
So I want to keep the memories alive for the next generation. We're all one big family in the military, and we've got to be there for each other.
Trigar tells me that he plans to keep coming out to the Veterans Cemetery to remember his mom and dad for as long as he can. Reporting in IGO, Anna Treya, Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
The Northern California Veterans Cemetery is one of 3 veteran cemeteries in the entire state. The other 2 are located in Untitled and Napa County and in Seaside out in Monterey County. The Oroville Veterans Day Parade made its way down Montgomery Street earlier today. Take a look. People came out to events all over Northern California today to celebrate our veterans and honor them. This is one of them out in Oroville this morning, the parade down Montgomery Street. Last year the parade was canceled due to COVID-19, so everyone tells Action News Now reporters they were very excited to be back this year. Here's what one veteran has to say.
Excellent. It makes me feel really happy, really happy. It's just it's wonderful to see these guys and ex-veterans and families come out here and appreciate all the veterans today too. So
there were helicopters, a military overflight, and floats. It started at 11 and wrapped up by about 12:30.
A traffic stop led to a major drug bust on I-5 near Wairika. The CHP said they found 23 pounds of methamphetamine, 2 kilograms of heroin, and 5,000 pills, likely narcotics, all valued at more than $450,000. Police arrested the driver and passenger, both from Hillsboro, Oregon. 2 separate stabbings in Chico are now being investigated. Still no arrests, however. Police say the first stabbing happened at the Cedar Apartments on 4th Avenue. Chico PD said that they learned of that stabbing after someone showed up at Enel Medical Center with a stab wound, but police say that person was not cooperative. And then the second stabbing happened on East Avenue at Highway 99. Police say this stabbing was caught on surveillance video, but the victim has not come forward. Investigators say the crimes are not related. Access to health care is all the more important as the pandemic presses on.
That's right. We continue tracking COVID-19 cases in our area. In Butte County, 55 people are hospitalized. More than 2,100, 300 have tested positive in all. And as you can see right now, new cases have leveled off from the Delta era spike at the end of the summer. More cars are back on the road today despite gas prices rising, yet traffic returns to pre-pandemic levels. Some parts of Southern California look like this. Very congested out there on the freeways, maybe even worse than before the pandemic last year.
Well, it's very boring. You have to be there for almost 2 hours.
Leisure travel is exploding. Not only are people taking more vacations, but they're taking those road trips. 9% more than last Thanksgiving, and it's only 1% less than what we saw over Thanksgiving in 2019 before the pandemic.
The 91 freeway seen a 12% increase in daily drivers compared to before the pandemic, recording 1.3 million cars in the express lane this September. That, compared to last March, was 820,000 commuters.
Breaking today, the defense rested its case against Kyle Rittenhouse in the protest murder trial in Wisconsin. Closing arguments are expected to be Monday. Rittenhouse faces life in prison if the jury finds him guilty. Nancy Chen shows us what played out in court today.
A video expert took the stand for the defense in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial Thursday. John Black was asked to analyze footage from the deadly encounter.
Based upon your analysis of the video and sound analysis, what occurred first, the kick to the face by jump kick man to my client, or the first gunshot?
The kick to the face occurred prior to the gunshot.
The defense is arguing that the now 18-year-old had reason to fear for his life when he shot 3 people, 2 of them fatally, during tense protests in Kenosha, Wisconsin in August of 2020. Another witness described the interaction between Rittenhouse and one of the men killed, Joseph Rosenbaum.
Rosenbaum was charging Kyle Rittenhouse from behind.
Prosecutors tried to argue the witness, Drew Hernandez, a self-described commentator there recording the protests, was biased.
Your videos that you have captured of these incidents that you call riots, they're very slanted against the people who are rioting.
The testimony comes a day after the 18-year-old took the stand in his own defense.
I didn't do anything wrong. I defended myself.
At one point, he broke down in tears.
There were 3 people right there.
Rittenhouse faces up to life in prison if convicted of homicide. Nancy Chen, CBS News, Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Now, the defense asked for a mistrial with prejudice yesterday following a heated exchange between the judge and prosecutors over the assistant DA's line of questioning. The judge said he would consider the request but has not yet made a ruling. If it's granted, Rittenhouse could not be tried a second time. Well, new at 5:30, we take a look at how local people celebrate Veterans Day, and that's next on Action News Now.
We had some beautiful weather to be outside, whether you're having a picnic or just exercising. If you want to have lunch or dinner outside tomorrow, it's looking just about as nice. We'll have a mostly sunny sky. Temperatures will be a little bit cool at lunchtime, but nice and mild in the upper 60s. Make sure that you eat an early dinner, though, before the sun goes down. It'll be in the lower 70s for a high. Let you know how long that's going to last coming up.
The time? I was just making sure Taylor's tracking the time at every block. Okay. Let's drop stocks. Okay. Well, okay. I mean, maybe we just drop it, right? Because we're still a little heavy, and if there's no video, it's like, what's the point? Okay.
Military service members celebrate Veterans Day.
People gathered at the Elks Lodge in Chico to honor all the veterans that served our country and serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. Take a look. Hundreds of veterans and families joined together this morning with music, keynote speakers. Action News Now spoke with some people at the event who told them what this all means to them.
Here today because there are many veterans in my family, some living, some have passed away. They've all been more than willing to help our nation. I'm proud of every one of them.
It means a lot to me to be out here. I had grandparents that served, so I really enjoy getting to be out here and see all these people and hand out flags and just do a little bit to help and show them how thankful I am for them.
In 1919, President Woodrow Wilson declared November 11th as Armistice Day to remind Americans of the tragedies of the war. The Houston Police Department continues its investigation into the deadly Astroworld concert last week. New cell phone footage shows the scene of chaos during the mass casualty event. Lilia Luciano shows us how the investigation is going.
For roughly an hour, a chaotic scene raged at the Astroworld Music Festival Friday night, and the show continued for almost 40 minutes after a mass casualty event was declared. Now, investigators are trying to figure out why. On Wednesday, Houston Police Chief Troy Finner said his officers were in communication with festival personnel as CPR was being administered to multiple individuals. He later clarified on Twitter that police also told those in charge of the event to shut down the performance.
The ultimate authority to end a show is with production and the entertainer, okay? And that should be through communication with public safety officials.
But on Saturday, in the more immediate aftermath of the festival, Finner defended the decision to let the show continue and said his department was part of that choice.
You cannot just close when you got 50,000 and over 50,000 individuals, okay? We have to worry about rioting, and there was a cooperation and discussion between promoters, our fire department, the police department, so I think that part was pretty good.
CBS News obtained video from a source close to the Astroworld Music Festival, appearing to show police near the stage during Scott's performance. This video was shot at around 10 p.m., with police seemingly unaware of the severity of the situation in the crowd, some 20 minutes after the mass casualty event was declared. The source says that means it would be difficult for the performers to know as well.
Now, an additional death was reported today. 22-year-old Bharti Shahani died yesterday after being critically injured at the concert. She's now the 9th person to die.
Clear skies and sunshine here to stay for a little while at least. Jason has your forecast.
Plus, why you may want to start thinking about getting your Christmas trees sooner rather than later this year.
You're watching Action News Now. Storm Tracker weather. Coverage you can count on.
Looking like a little bit of sunshine through light clouds over the area. We're looking at a time lapse from our Bloomer Lookout today.
Not a bad day at all. A refreshing change after some of the stormy weather we've been getting. Chief Meteorologist Jason Stiff gives us a breakdown now of the weather that we can expect as we head towards the weekend. Jason?
Yeah, it's looking a little bit quieter right now. It has been fantastic to get the rain, the mountain snow that we've had the last several weeks. A good way to start our new water year. However, we don't have any rain clouds outside right now. Actually, a really pretty view. This is looking westward from Elk Creek, which is west of Willows. Looking out over the mountains, you can see a few cirrus clouds there, but all a gorgeous night for us. It's going to be kind of cool. Not necessarily a 3-dog night, but maybe 1 or 2. It will be a little bit chilly tomorrow morning. Your heater may kick on, but you won't have to need any air conditioning for quite some time. Right now, it's 47 degrees in Boerne. It is still 70 in Redding after that high of 76 today. It was 10 degrees warmer than average, 68 degrees in Red Bluff and in Chico, and it's 60 mild degrees in Paradise. But this is nice to see too. Almost everyone has 0 wind. 3-mile-an-hour light breeze in Redding and Alturas. Everybody else is calm. There's not a lot of cloud cover outside either. You saw a couple of those cirrus clouds in the air over the Elk Creek area, and that's really all we're going to expect. Tonight, a mostly clear sky. Some patchy fog may develop again around the valley. We had it around Oroville early this morning. Some locally dense fog also around Quincy and Weaverville. So be cautious if you're going to be driving around. Make sure you leave a little bit of extra space and also use your low beams, not the high beams when you're driving around with that lowered visibility. We'll also have a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky late Friday into early Saturday. Most of those clouds are gone by the time the sun rises on Saturday morning, and then we'll have lots of nice sunshine for Saturday afternoon. Now, we still have that ridge in control. I've been tracking that all week. It will allow one minor disturbance to move into the Pacific Northwest. They're going to get most of that rain. We'll have a slight chance for showers late Monday through early Wednesday in northern California and northwestern Nevada. After that, we'll just have a little bit cooler than average weather, but the amounts of rain, not very much. This is a 7-day total. You see how long it takes just to get a few hundredths of an inch. Mount Shasta may receive over a 1/10 of an inch, and that's about it. But that's still 5 to 7 days out. I'm going to keep tracking that all the way through next week also. But if you want to do some exercise tomorrow morning, you won't get rained on, but you'll probably need that extra layer for at least a few hours. It'll be just about as warm tomorrow afternoon as it was today, but it will be a little bit cool, seasonably cool, for the 12th day of November tomorrow morning. So here's your forecast for tomorrow afternoon. Expecting highs in the 60s over the northern mountains. Still some patchy fog around Hayfork and Weaverville, but we'll see some more afternoon sunshine too. For the northern Sierra and the southern Cascades, a chilly morning and a mild afternoon. We'll have highs back in the 60s, even warmer than it was today. A nice day for Friday for the Ridge. Overnight lows in the 40s and lower 50s. A high of 60 in Sterling City, 65 degrees for Magalia, and 67 degrees for Paradise. For the Valley, a slight chance for some patchy fog, but it won't last too long. Overnight lows in the 40s, highs in the above average lower 70s, slightly cooler than today, but still a really nice day. And for Glenn and Butte counties, lows tonight near 48 degrees. Daytime highs will be in the lower 70s tomorrow afternoon. We still expect plenty of sunshine on Saturday also. Increasing clouds early next week with a slight chance for showers late Monday through early Wednesday, but very little rain is going to fall. What will definitely fall, though, are the temperatures. They're going to go from the 70s down to the 60s in Chico and in Redding.
Thanks, Jason. A new addition to the LA Rams in 2 minutes, the second high-profile player to join the team this month. Sports is next.
Odell Beckham Jr. is headed to LA.
The free agent wide receiver signed on with the Rams, joining the high-powered offense led by quarterback Matthew Stafford. Beckham became a free agent when he cleared waivers on Tuesday after the Cleveland Browns released him. Beckham is the second high-profile player added by the Rams this month after Los Angeles traded for star pass rusher Von Miller before the deadline last week.
Former MVP quarterback Cam Newton has re-signed with the Carolina Panthers. Newton returns to the team that drafted him with the first overall pick in 2011. In 2015, Newton led the Panthers to the 2015 Super Bowl, but was released by the team after the 2019 season because of numerous injuries. His deal reportedly could be worth as much as $10 million for the rest of the season, including a guaranteed $4.5 million. Divers on a mission to keep Tahoe clean. We show you what they're pulling from beneath the calm surface.
And coming up at 6, we show you the challenge for so many of us as prices rise and holiday season costs stack up. This is Action News Now at 5. Oh, yeah, I mean, if you're going to time Jason, you know, give him the 45 or whatever since we're a little bit light.
So whether
Scuba divers are making progress at a massive undertaking, clearing more than 18,000 pounds of trash from Lake Tahoe.
Take a look at this. Tires, gas cans under there. They're pulling up some red Solo cups as well. The cleanup, the Lake Scuba Dive Team, that's their name. It's almost finished with their efforts here, covering about 41 of the 72 miles that they vowed to clean back in May at the bottom of Lake Tahoe.
I never probably would have said I wanted to be a garbage man when I grew up, but hey, I think we all have a pretty darn good time. Problem is, you know, things that are out of sight are out of mind. And sometimes, even when you're in certain parts of the lake, you might not see the trash, but often it's there. You know, it's either covered in a certain kind of silt or it's buried in the sand.
You know, we were expecting them to pick up a lot of trash. I don't know if we were expecting them to pick up almost 20,000 miles before they even made it all the way around the lake.
Researchers are looking to improve the project with data that can help pinpoint locations with the most litter. The team's planning to complete the remaining 29 miles by the end of this year.
That was a 45 record I saw on there. Ready for Christmas? Well, experts say you really need to start thinking soon about your Christmas tree. You want to get that buying strategy going. There is going to be a shortage. Blame the 2008 recession. Growers didn't plant as many trees back then when the demand fell in a big way. And now, well over a decade later, there are fewer trees. You can cut your own in the Trinity and Lassen National Forest, but you do need a permit. Apply for one at actionnewsnow.com/links. It's warming up under blue skies over Butte County today.
That's right. Chief Meteorologist Jason Stiff is tracking those conditions for us. Jason, it's pretty dry out there and it feels a bit warmer as well.
Yeah, we had a warmer day this afternoon. We were 10 degrees warmer than average in Reading alone. It was a 76-degree day for us, but we are going to cool fairly quickly. Very little cloud cover outside right now through 10 o'clock, dropping down to the lower 60s on average around the valley, mid-50s at midnight, and then we'll have more mid to upper 40s tomorrow morning. But if you need to clean up after all of your trees, all the leaves have been blowing around and falling down, we have several days that you can do that without any worry of getting a lot of wet leaves outside. We'll just have a lot of nice weather.
There is more Action News Now straight ahead. Stay right there for Action News Now at 6 coming up next.